Diddy's son, Christian, aka King Combs, is now being sued, just like his father is.
I think that adding these charges a month before trial is set to begin is very telling. I'm afraid to see what else is going to come out during trial, and I'm curious to see who the second victim is.
The world of commercial hip-hop. Musician and mogul Sean Puffy P. Diddy Combs. Now he's a federal defendant facing many decades behind bars. Here's the story.
Los Angeles is in shock after the FBI carried out a major raid at Diddy's house, which led to one of his sons turning himself in. During the raid, agents reportedly found strong evidence that could reveal a hidden and possibly criminal side of Diddy's music empire, something that had been kept secret behind his fame and success. Even though the full details aren't known yet, people close to the situation say the investigation is uncovering serious truths about Diddy and his family. A video from the scene shows agents moving the home's security camera to face the ground, then flying a drone inside the house. It also shows Diddy's son Christian standing with his hands up against the wall while being handcuffed. Then his other son Justin appears with his hands on his head and is also taken away by agents. Another man, who hasn't been identified, was dragged out of the house and placed on the driveway. Photos taken after the raid show Christian and Justin sitting on the lawn while the agents continued to search the home. Now, as police dig deeper into the case, people are starting to wonder what other secrets may be revealed about one of the most powerful families in the music industry.
The release clip ends with what appears to be another man who is dragged out of the home and on the driveway by agents. Photos of the aftermath show Diddy's sons Christian and Justin on the lawn of the LA home while agents seemingly continued their search.
The Daily Mail now reporting that Hilton has said both Christian and Justin have hired attorney Jeffrey Lichtman. Now, let me explain this to you. This is a trial attorney that has represented some very famous, maybe infamous defendants. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, John Gotti Jr., fellow rappers The Game, Fat Joe. Hilton says Lichtman will be investigating the use of force involved in the raid.
Okay, we have a major issue leading up to Sean Combs' racketeering, sex trafficking, prostitution trial scheduled to begin May 5th. Actually, it is so significant that not only could it change the course of this whole case, but I wonder if we're dealing with a situation that could actually delay this trial. So if you've been following our coverage here on Sidebar, you know there has been a whole lot of back and forth between Combs' defense counsel and prosecutors about who's going to testify at this upcoming trial, particularly the alleged victims, and when the prosecutors have to disclose the identities of these individuals. Well, it is that issue that has now raised up again, and this is a monumental potential problem.
One of the things about testifying in a case is the jury isn't just listening, they are looking. They are looking at facial expressions, body language,
reactions,
hesitation, reactions, all of that. And, if they, put them in a different room and blur their face, that opens the door, if Diddy gets convicted, to an appeal.
So the other option would be to clear the court, but the media is still going to, you can't not have the media in there.
The drama began on March 25th at a luxurious mansion in Holmby Hills, one of the most private and wealthy areas of Los Angeles. In a scene that felt like something out of a movie, heavily armed FBI agents stormed through the elegant halls of Sean Diddy Combs' home. The agents led his sons through the mansion at gunpoint, creating a tense and shocking moment. One of the young men was handcuffed right in front of the cameras, a moment that was caught on video and quickly spread across social media, leaving many people stunned.
So clearly a very different sight than we're used to seeing, but there you see some of the people that were inside that mansion at the time of the raid. They are being talked to by investigators, by people from the Department of Homeland Security. I could see they're getting their pictures taken as well. So maybe they don't know who they're looking for or who they have in front of them at this point. But again, part of the process of gathering information as to who in particular was on the grounds at the time that they made entry into during this raid.
While the raids have drawn criticism from Diddy's camp over the treatment of his sons and employees, Schmidt says they were treated just the same as everyone else.
You hit the nail on the head. They're treating it like any other case. I've had cases where we had to make entry into very large estates or large places. You know, you can kind of go back to the way the FBI did the Trump raid. It was the same kind of circumstances, a huge property. They don't know how many people are inside that property. Their job is to get in, get it under control, and get everybody out, and to do it in the safest manner. So, to be specific, I don't think there was any other way to do this, just based upon the fact that the property was so big.
Multiple safes broken into, drawers ripped open, closets ransacked, boxes of gun ammo, and Grammy Awards. New images from TMZ show inside Diddy's ransacked Beverly Hills mansion during the coast-to-coast raids where no arrests were made.
People in the home are traditionally detained during raids, so they don't flee and so they don't destroy evidence.
The rapper's attorney calls it a witch hunt with an excessive show of force and hostility that led to a premature rush to judgment, adding Diddy will continue to fight every single day to clear his name.
They don't execute these types of search warrants until they believe they have an ironclad case.
New surveillance video shows Combs being taken into custody in a Manhattan hotel last week. Our senior investigative correspondent, Aaron Kotursky, is at the scene of his arrest. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Robin. This is the hotel where Sean Combs was arrested a week ago. You can now see how that arrest went down. This morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
While Diddy's team has criticized the raids, saying his sons and employees were treated unfairly, Schmidt responded by saying they were treated the same as anyone else would be in that situation.
Justin Combs' mom released a statement along with the video slamming the federal agents for the way they handled the raid. The statement reads, quote, "The overzealous and overtly militarized force used against my sons Justin and Christian is deplorable. If these were the sons of a non-black celebrity, they would have not been handled with the same aggression. The attempt to humiliate and terrorize these innocent young black men is despicable. Enough is enough. Did Justin need several laser beams from firearms pointed at his chest? Did Christian need a gun pointed at the back of his head while he was handcuffed? How many times have we seen young, unarmed black men not make it out of these types of situations alive? My son's attorney, Jeffrey Lichtman, is investigating the excessive use of force, which was unnecessary and certainly not required by this search warrant. We will fight for justice utilizing every imaginable resource. I'm not with the propaganda." Justin Combs' mom, Misa Hilton, isn't the only one criticizing the raids for excessive use of force. Diddy's friend and Grammy Award-winning producer, Stephen Jordan, better known as Stevie J, told a reporter with Fox 5 New York he was at Diddy's home when the feds raided the mansion. Stevie J referred to the incident as traumatizing. In the interview, he said he'd never had 50 laser dots pointed toward his shirt, and he felt like agents were going to kill someone. Stevie J, Justin, and Christian Combs were not arrested or charged following the raids, and Diddy was not near his LA mansion at the time of the raid. Instead, he was reportedly attempting to board his private plane to fly to the Bahamas for spring break with his twin daughters.
Federal agents searching Sean Diddy Combs' properties in Los Angeles and Miami, they found guns.
We got Jasmine Monroe here, who's got that story a little bit more in Florida Minute. Hey, Jasmine.
Hey, good morning to both of you. That's right. So according to an NBC News report, which was cited by 3 sources familiar to this matter, it is not clear what type of guns were found or who owns these guns. The source familiar with the matter says that Combs is a subject to a federal criminal investigation. Now, his attorney says that the agent searches on Monday were, quote, a gross overuse of military-level force. He says that Combs is innocent and will fight to clear his name.
His attorney calling it a witch hunt, telling ABC News there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences. Those search warrants executed by dozens of Homeland Security investigators seizing multiple electronic devices. Agents descending on his Holmby Hills mansion in fatigues, briefly detaining 2 of Combs' adult sons, seen here wearing handcuffs. His attorney saying there is no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated.
But why did this raid happen? As the investigation unfolded, more details began to emerge that connected this incident to a series of legal and personal troubles within the Combs family. For months, there had been whispers of domestic disputes, legal battles, and long-buried secrets that were finally coming to light.
Federal agents are searching the house of Sean Diddy Combs here in Los Angeles, looking for what they believe is evidence that will help them build a case against the rapper. Agents took no chances when they entered that property today, going in with guns drawn. They also detained 2 people while that raid took place. It's not just this property here in Los Angeles. There is also another house in Miami that was also being searched. It's been reported that this is related to a trafficking and sexual assault investigation.
Given the graphic testimony that the statutory victims will collectively give about years' worth of beatings, drug-fueled coercive sex marathons, and multiple rapes, these are the people who will testify as part of the criminal charges, the non-statutory victims' testimony, meaning the people who would testify as to this uncharged conduct, will be no more inflammatory than the evidence that the jury will already have before it at this trial. Accordingly, the highly probative proffered testimony is not unduly prejudicial under Rule 403, which we discussed before.
Allegedly, Diddy was doing other things to this victim too that they didn't know about, and now they have enough evidence to bring this
So
back.
those charges are sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution, which is interesting because you all have this great new documentary out talking about Diddy's defense, and the mock jury in that were uncomfortable with some of these ideas of sex trafficking and prostitution, and this concept of whether this really was consensual, and whether they seem to think, some of them, that the government was going too far by suggesting sex trafficking.
And here they are adding more of those charges.
I'm a savage. Whatever I want, I'm going to get. Whatever I want, I have to get.
This is Sean Combs, aka Diddy, and he was just sued by one of his producers who alleges SA and trafficking. But it's not the first time Diddy's been accused of abuse, and people have been speaking out against him for years. Somehow though, his empire remains intact.
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose. For the next 48 hours, he's with me. So, yeah, he signed the Usher. I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. My brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and pause, but like that's how. I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother.
You were 13. What were you saying?
I went there to see the lifestyle. Diddy's son, Christian, aka King Combs, is now being sued, just like his father is. A woman filed a lawsuit against King, alleging that in late 2022, right before New Year's Eve, King assaulted her on a yacht, specifically sexually assaulted. There was a party going on, she was working it, and she claims that he started to hone in on her, roping her, trying to kiss her. She claims that she tried pushing him off of him, telling her that she didn't want it, and she claims that he continued pressing on and pressing on. In her lawsuit, she actually claims to have audio recordings of this, and she includes transcripts of all of this, and in the transcripts, if they're believed to be true, they do in fact show her trying to tell Christian, hey, leave me alone, I don't want this, leave me alone. Eventually, she claims she got away from Christian. He kept hounding her. He told her, hey, take me to a place I can sleep on the yacht. She took him to a theater room, and this woman claims that's when he continued to try and sexually assault her, trying to force her to give him oral sex.
Diddy's 29-year-old son has avoided jail time after taking a plea deal in his DUI case, RadarOnline.com has learned. Justin Combs landed 3 years of probation and was ordered to complete an alcohol education program after pleading no contest to having a blood alcohol content of 0.08% or higher. Combs' charge of driving under the influence was dismissed. According to court documents obtained by The Blast, Diddy's son must enroll and participate in and successfully complete a 3-month licensed first offender alcohol and other drug education and counseling program in addition to his 3 years of summary probation. As RadarOnline.com exclusively reported, Justin was hit with 2 misdemeanor charges for driving under the influence and having a blood alcohol content, BAC, higher than 0.08% or more after being arrested for DUI on June 4th.
Hey man, I wanted to ask you, man, you must be so sick and tired of this Nepo baby debate that everyone's having. Everyone's coming for kids of famous people and nepotism. Yeah. You must be so sick and tired of that debate.
Not really, you know, heavy is the head that wears the crown, so you got a big legacy to fill up too.
Oh, I love that.
Right now, bad boy be #1, let's go, baby.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Do you feel at all any sort of way about benefiting from your dad's success, or you just, life is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
You could be born good looking or ugly, be born smart or poor or rich or anything.
Yep.
How do you
be you.
Have you guys heard the rumor about Diddy's sons causing more problems? Honestly, I'm inclined to believe it. Can someone please explain this to me? Diddy's son is here throwing parties while his dad is behind bars. For the same reason. Is that gullibility, insanity, or what? I mean, didn't Justin Combs just get denied rentals for his parties because of the drama surrounding his dad? Revisit that claim, tell me nothing is wrong with it, and I won't take y'all seriously. Here's what the report states. An anonymous broker claimed Justin would promise small gatherings, but instead throw massive parties that left rental homes in disarray. He would say, I'm having 20 people over, but there would be 200. And then they would wreck the house.